Ladies and gentlemen, X1 World Events would like to thank Bruce Kameko of Bad Boy Trucking for his continued support and for presenting tonight's bout. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, coming to us by way of Kahului, Maui, bringing with him an undefeated record of 5 wins, no defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Dylan, the Big Villain Clay. And his opponent fighting across the ring out of the red corner, coming to us by way of Honolulu, and bringing in a professional MMA record of 22 wins, 20 defeats with 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ronald the Machine Gun Jhun.
So it is the return to the Blaisdell Arena, the return of Ronald Machine Gun Jhun, and look at the record, over 40 professional fights. Dylan Clay, 5-0 record. You know, Ronald Jhun fought on all the big stages. He fought in the UFC. He fought some notable names. Dylan Clay, as you mentioned, very, very good jiu-jitsu guy. We'll see the classic fighter against the guy who can do it on the ground.
Definitely, and Dylan also has very excellent stand-up. He's very accurate with his punching as well. But you're going to fight a veteran, a well-rounded veteran. And that's Ron Jhun right there.
Well, this is the first time in 2 years Ron Jhun has fought at the Blaisdell Arena. Talking with him before the fight, says, this is a house that I used to rule. Talking about the Blaisdell.
He had some wars here and usually came up victorious in the wars here in Hawaii.
Yeah. As I mentioned, he's been on a losing streak. He has lost 11 of his last 12. And on a 9-match losing streak. Oh, nice right hand by Jhun. Clay clinches up hurt.
Nice exchange there. Ron's extremely hard to take down. He's a great takedown defense. But Clay's even very, very good off his back. So even if he lands on his back, Ron has to be careful of those quick submissions like we just seen.
Tie up along the ropes now. Clay in the red, Jhun in the black. For 3 5-minute rounds. Seems to be a little blood coming from the mouth of Ronald Jhun. Jhun hit him on the left. Oh, the big knee. Jhun might have blocked that one. Push kick by Clay.
Good job by Clay with staying active. If Ron can set the tone here, he may be in trouble. Dylan's doing a good job of switching it up, punches, kicks, the knees.
There is a cut and blood coming down from the left eye of Ronald Jhun. Right in the corner of the eye.
It shouldn't hinder his side at all, but good job by Dylan to kind of keep working that leg. Ron's more of a puncher. He always has been a puncher. He kind of stands in there. Nice exchange there.
Swinging for the fences is Ronald Jhun. Missing with the right hand. High kick by Clay. Doesn't land.
See through the exchanges, the experience of Ron Jhun. He keeps his eyes on his target. A lot of guys kind of drop their head as they throw punches. This allows Ron to do multiple combinations, be accurate with his combinations. Kind of dropping that left hand a little bit as Ron Jhun. It could be due to those leg kicks.
Blood still coming from the left eye in the corner there of Ronald Jhun. Nice leg kick. Right hand just caught the cheek. Oh, and he might have got a finger in the eye. Jhun has to take a timeout there in the corner. He might have got poked with a finger, and the referee, Chris West, has called time.
It could be a block when you put the hand out to block, your fingers kind of come out, and as he comes forward, that could have been where the jab to the eye came out.
The blood continues to flow out of that left eye. Now the medical team is into the corner now, and let's take a look at what happened.
Kind of a swat with that left hand, possibly with the thumb kind of coming on. I'm not sure. It's very difficult to see See if we can see it again here. Ron comes in.
Oh, right there.
Right there.
Yeah, the right hand. The
Right.
thumb. The thumb of the right hand just poked Jhun right in the eye. Now the trainers are tending to that injury in the corner.
It's kind of a dangerous situation. Is the velocity of the hands coming over exchange, especially when you're trying to throw a punch here with that thumb coming out. And sometimes that thumb comes out a lot if you spar a lot with gloves on, because you can't clinch your fist normally. So even when you take the gloves off, your thumb has a tendency to kind of stay out there.
Well, as they tend to the eye of Ronald Jhun, you know, he fought in the UFC in August of 04. He lost to Chris Lytle, UFC 49. That was his, he only had one win since that loss. He came in with a 21-10 record before he made that big jump up to the big stage. And then after that, you know, he'd lost 11 of 12.
But you look at the guys he lost to. Again, Chris Lytle, who's a stud in UFC, Jason Mayhem Miller, Iwase Hiron, who's a stud in the IFL, Dallas Leche, who's like the next big thing at the UFC currently, Frank Trigg, who was an icon, middleweight champion now, Atuna McKee, another stud in IFL. This is like a star stud. Eugene Jackson, also a UFC veteran. Kikuchi is like huge in Japan. Keita Nakamura, you know, he's huge in Shuto, so he always ends up fighting the best of the best. And I always tell him, you know, when you fight the best of the best, it's like a coin toss who wins that night.
Exactly. And I asked him, you know, why didn't you have the success after the UFC than you did before the UFC? He said he put too much pressure on himself, became trying not to lose rather than be confident to win like he did back home. So they're still tending to Ronald Jhun in the corner, and I believe they'll give him about 5 minutes? Is that usually the standard amount of time?
Yes, 5 minutes.
There you see Falonico Vitale, teammate at 808 Fight Factory.
Kai Kamaka, his brother-in-law. We're going to see another brother-in-law kind of later, Ray Brada Cooper. So definitely another fighting family.
You know, we mentioned those losses to Ronald Jhun. How about his victories? Joe Daddy Stevenson and then Ryan Schultz. You know, that was right before the UFC, and Schultz has been, you know, tearing up the IFL.
Exactly, and you know, he had one of probably the best fights ever in Hawaii against Pete Spratt. That was just an all knockout, drag-out war that he kind of walked away from as a winner.
You know, folks who remember Ronald Jhun from back in the day, you know, he started the Jesus is Lord gym out at Waipahu, along with the guy who's going to fight later on tonight, Ray Brada Cooper. They both left that gym to pursue other things, and he's talking it over right now with his teammate, Falonico Vitale.
You kind of see his eyes kind of clenched up too, so he's having a very hard time looking through that, and it gets to a point that you can't see properly out of one eye. Not only hinders your vision, but also hinders your depth perception. And depth perception is crucial as far as stand-up. You have to stay out of that range and not get tagged as much.
Of course, this is the kinder, gentler MMA now, so the safety of the fighters is paramount. Back in the old days, they said, thumb in the eye, too bad.
Suck it up. Thank God those days are over.
So now
we're going to run out of fighters.
So now we are approaching perhaps the time limit allotted for Ronald Jhun to kind of clean things up in his eye and continue this bout with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the first round, scheduled for 3.
It's another smart thing that shows his experiences. A lot of fighters, once they kind of feel okay, they kind of jump right back in. You know, experienced fighters are going to take the time they need to recover. You have 5 minutes. Why not use the whole 5 minutes if you actually need it to kind of clear everything up?
So the natives getting restless there here at the Blaisdell, and now they're putting their hands together for Ronald Jhun, who will continue this bout. Dylan Clay has just been chilling out there in his blue corner. Both fighters show a lot of sportsmanship right there, and the fight resumes now. 3 minutes elapsed here in round number 1.
The big problem with Ron, if it is such a problem, is that, you know, he's so game that he always takes fights. You know, sometimes he takes fights, harder fights than he should. You know, some guys, after a tough loss against a high-quality opponent, they go back and they fight lesser opponents. Like, oh, nice first spinning back kick followed by a head kick. Nice body shot to the land right underneath Jhun's guard. But Ron just comes back and always fights top-notch competition.
He'll go down swinging. If there was an Achilles heel, he does fall to the hands of submissions now and then.
Now his ground game is phenomenal. He fought a grapple quest, made it to the finals against probably the best guy. Oh, nice knee to drop him on. The eyes bleeding again.
Jhun now trying to get his opponent close as we're approaching 1 minute left to go in the round. As Jhun trying to pass the guard of Ronald Jhun. That eye is now opened up and blood is streaming down the face of Ronald Jhun on his back.
Clay's doing a good job at keeping pressure, using that distance.
Clay with a couple of... Jhun is taunting Clay to hit him. He says, come on, hit me. Oh, and a big right hand right to the cheek of Ronald Jhun. Boy, be careful what you ask for, Ronald. As Clay tries for the mount, and he can't get it. It has side control, less than 30.
Nice pass by Clay. It goes right to the mount here. Nice deep through pass, goes right to the mount. He's going to try to take his back.
He's going to try to take the back.
He's going to watch his neck.
Doesn't have it in yet. Jhun is putting his chin down to... Nope, didn't get the choke in. And now he has the mount. And now Ronald Jhun has to hang on. 10 seconds left to go in the round. Can Jhun survive? As Clay starts to rain it down. 2, 1. And there's the horn. And Ronald Jhun saved by the bell there. And now they'll see if that eye can go one more round here. Boy, it was a bloody mess.
Excellent technique by Dylan Clay. Because Ron has an excellent guard. It's very hard to pass this guard. Dylan did a good job at mixing his punches with his pass. You can see him as he comes there. He had him down. Good posture here. And what that does, it allows him to kind of punch and generate a lot of power. You see the overhand right? Tags him. Ron acknowledges it. Starts talking a little bit. Sometimes guys anger and they kind of get out of the game. Dylan kind of kept himself real cool, and Ron was really, really mounting. So I couldn't really make out what he was saying, and he was right in front of us here.
Well, he was right in front. He says, "Come on, come on," and then Clay hit him with a body shot, and then Ronald was mouthing off even more. But Dylan Clay looked like, boy, he just had a walk in the park. As for Ronald Jhun, they're going to need a mash unit over there to clean up that eye.
Needs to keep those hands up. Dylan's doing a good job at mixing it up, but also getting back to those eyes.
Dylan Clay, originally from Durango, California, Colorado, I should say, moved to Hawaii in 2001.
See, Ron's very, very disappointed here. Kind of disappointed himself. And usually his worst performances after talking to him is the fights that he gets too emotionally involved. When he sits back, plays his game.
And Ronald Jhun calls it a night. And your winner, and improving now to 6-0, the pride of the Maui Fight Club in Kahului, Maui, Dylan Clay.
That was a huge step up in talent, and he definitely rose to the challenge here.
Now let's get the official announcement from James Brennan.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, blue corner is unable to continue. Red corner is unable to continue. Your winner by TKO victory, Dylan the Big Villain Clay.